Well, hi, this is Rob Kramarz, founder of Intelliversity. We're here again this morning at the office of TechnoCom, and it's exciting to spin off Location Smart. And with me today, I have Mario Proietti, who is the president of Location Smart, and Masoud Motemedi, who is presently the president of TechnoCom and also the co-founder of Location Smart. So, as you know, our philosophy at Intelliversity is that it's the management team that makes the difference. It's the team, not the technology. And although this is a very interesting situation because we have really a company and its progeny, its spin-off here represented, which is an interesting management problem for them, and it's an interesting case study for us. It's still a wonderful case of a team that's starting a new venture, even though it's a spin-off of an old venture, a successful company. So what I wanted to do is take a moment just so you know a little bit more about the company. We're going to talk here about Location Smart, the spin-off, your spin-off company. And then we'll get back to the subject of what we have to learn, what you have to learn about the fundraising process and what they can teach you, what their experience can teach you. So let's begin with Masoud, even though I said I'd start with you. Masoud, give the audience a 2-minute, very brief description of what Location Smart does.
Location Smart brings location capability to enterprises who do not need to go and learn about location technology, deal with all of the wireless carriers. We have tried to bring in a platform that simplifies the overall implementation of location for people who have either fleets, or they want to access consumers, or they want to just purely be using location as part of their day-to-day operation. By bringing that connectivity into one place, under one platform, under one roof, we have allowed all the commercial entities out there to be able to access location of any handset anywhere at any time.
Very, very good. Now, Mario, I'd like also to hear your explanation of Location Smart, and we'll listen closely to the differences in style and substance between the way the two co-founders express their company.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Yeah, and to add on to what Masoud said, Location Smart brings access to location for businesses that want to locate mobile consumers, mobile workers, through an easy to use method that doesn't require deploying an application onto the phone. Typically, applications are required. This is done through network access to the wireless carriers that we, as a trusted partner, are able to do across all 4 Tier 1 carriers, which gives us close to 90% access across U.S. mobile users. And we also provide landline location capabilities for a total of 360 million devices. Okay,
great. So, I remember when I first heard this explanation, I had no idea what they were talking about. And I am going to suspect that you don't know what they're talking about either. What we need here is the PR manager explaining exactly what the company does. My understanding of what Location Smart does is that you enable other companies to know where a cell phone handset is located physically, whether or not they're using GPS or any particular location technology. And that would matter to, well, what kind of companies would want to know where somebody's cell phone is located?
Yeah, some examples are call centers, and in particular, one category of call centers that we've had a great deal of success in is roadside assistance. So companies such as Allstate, who yesterday or Monday issued a press release that they selected our platform, will use that to locate their callers when they call in for assistance, and maybe are unable to describe their location. May take a long time to describe it even if they know. So it makes their business more efficient. And they can also use our platform to communicate with them about the status of that service through messaging instead of having the user call back and find out what's going on when is the provider going to be here. So it helps them with their callers, and then also in dispatching the responders and tracking them as they get closer to that customer. And that workforce management use case, like roadside assistance company watching a tow truck operator get to the customer, is a general workforce management application of the same technology. When businesses have workers who are using any old phone that they carry around, it's not a company-owned phone, or are driving vehicles that don't have technology installed with them, they can still get visibility into where those mobile workers are.
So in other words, with this technology, anybody that has a cell phone that's turned on, I assume,
Correct.
can be located and tracked exactly where they are, so that the business they work for, well, not necessarily work for,
Or engage with as
or
a
engage
customer.
with as a customer, can tell exactly where they're located. Now, is this your phone becomes a tracker for your specific exact location, right?
Effectively, the phone is a tracker because the location technology has been implemented by the wireless carriers. So whatever phone they, excuse me, that a consumer may be using could be tracked today because of the 911 capability that exists. On top of that, a number of wireless carriers have implemented it for the commercial applications, and we are using that commercial side of it,
Gotcha.
where any phone, when they come through our center, we could go and, for lack of a better word, ping the wireless carrier, get the location back, and provide it to the party that is trying to track that device.
Yeah.
Nurses would be a prime example, that they are visiting different homes. They want to be tracked, or the dispatch center wants to know if they made it, they can use this for tracking the nurses.
So essentially, we're converting our cell phones into tracking devices, and everybody can be tracked. Now, isn't there a privacy issue here?
Yeah, that's
How do you handle
a
that?
very important aspect of what we do is managing the privacy, and it's always with several aspects related to privacy that have to be taken care of. One is notifying the user that their location is going to be used for a service and for what purpose, and whether it will be shared or not, and in what ways. And then also getting their consent, that they agreed for the location to be used. And part of our platform manages all the different methods that privacy, disclosure, and consent can be obtained.
Gotcha. Now, should we also plan to put cell phones on our babies and dogs so we can tell where they're located?
There are people doing that, and there's a case to be made for that. It's really makes it available for all sorts of new services that to this point could not be done economically, which for us is very exciting.
I can imagine some kind of cell phone that doesn't really have the cell phone with the screen. It just has the location chips, or the chips that you would use, and you could attach it to a stroller or a child or a dog and find out exactly where they're located.
Yeah, all sorts of assets.
And there are companies trying to do exactly that, just basically use a cell phone as a tracking device without using the audio capability.
Yes. So how big is this market?
Well, because it applies in so many different ways. It's a big market that we estimated about $1 billion annually across all the different use cases: call centers, workforce management, transportation, logistics. One use of the technology that we haven't talked about is transaction security for banking and online transactions. So a credit card or an ATM card being used somewhere where that user typically does not use their card, but their phone number is inside their bank account profile, the phone can be located, and if the phone is near the ATM, can confirm that it's a valid transaction. So all sorts of new use cases that, because of this capability, without an app on the phone having to be deployed, creates new opportunities that location has been applied to before.
All right, very interesting. So I just want to remind the audience that this is a training video for entrepreneurs and for investors. It is not a offer to sell securities to you. It's not a solicitation for you to buy securities. It is simply a training video. And we'll come back in just a moment, and we'll take a deeper dive into what these gentlemen have to teach us about how to raise funds in this difficult market for a technology company such as this. We'll be right back.